so much room for activities.
Okay. This video, we're gonna go over the H2 and kind of the issues, if you will, the struggles, the challenges.
The breakdown.
Yeah. The challenges and the things that we went through during FL2k. It wasn't very well known, and kind of the challenges that we did go through with the bike. So this shop talk, if you will, we're just gonna kind of go through it, and we're gonna discuss the issues that we had and the challenges that we overcame with the bike. I'll go grab the wheel and the chain guard.
Okay.
So, give me a second.
It's a big boy. Hey.
Alright. So basically, the H2 leading up to the FL2k event, you know, it got kind of put on the back burner a little bit. We had a bunch of things that we were trying to do. We were prepping a lot of other clients' bikes for the event, and it got kind of pushed off to the side a little bit, which is always the case with like shop builds, even their bikes, Cam's and Lewis's, and we have a couple of other people's bikes that they got kind of pushed off, and we were trying to fit everything in such a short amount of time. But long story short, we ended up going testing on the Tuesday and Thursday prior, and basically we just went to bike nights, and we were kind of doing a little test runs with that bike, just kind of seeing how it felt after all these changes. You know, we changed swing arms, we changed the wheels around, we've changed the
length of the bike.
The length of the bike, the gearing on the bike, the height of the bike. Like there was a bunch of things that we were trying to change.
Air to water intercooler.
That's right, we did the air to water intercooler kit. We didn't change any boost levels, any boost settings or anything like that. We lightened up the bike considerably. We didn't weigh it, but we did lighten it up. We took a lot of weight off the bike. We did all of these things again in such a short amount of time. And long story short, on Thursday, right before the event, one of the issues that we had was we actually had a failure on the chain guard. And we're still not 100% as sure as to how or why it happened.
It's not supposed to look like that, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty mangled. But needless to say, we had a chain guard failure, and we didn't realize it. Luckily, we did realize it before anything happened, any bad things happened. But
I mean,
well,
didn't realize it. Bad things kind of did happen, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, as far as like bodily harm, no bodily harm occurred. But needless to say, we wanted to show you guys kind of some of the damage. And I gotta tell you, the hit that this wheel took is incredible, that it was still driving. And the craziest part is that after this happened, it actually felt smoother. The bike rode smoother and drove better once it was damaged. So it's a little it's pretty crazy. I gotta give it to BST on this one. So they definitely make a very strong wheel, even with the failure that occurred. Very happy with that.
This flew off, and I think we realized this flew off and went looking for it and drove another 8 to 10 miles.
Yeah, I think the bridge is about 3.
Something like that.
No, we basically drove about another 8 miles at like speed limit on the wheel with the way it sits, and I'm very surprised that it didn't break any more or completely tear apart, because this could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. So that was one of the issues that we had, and then we had so. It's a known thing on the H2 platform that they get this rattle by the supercharger, and what ends up happening is if you guys know Kawasaki's, you know that their timing chain, their cam chain tensioners are known to kind of start to fail. They get a lot of slop in it, so you get a lot of rattle from it. Well, it's no different on the supercharger tensioner. They have the same type of error, let's say. And we were hearing this rattle for it's not like we were riding on it consistently for months, because we were waiting on swing arm, we were waiting on wheels, we were waiting on all these different things, the intercooler to be built. We were waiting on all these different things to come in. So it's not like the bike was being driven. It was parked for months, but we did know that I had that rattle. So right before we got everything in, and as we were putting everything on, we dynoed it, and the numbers were a little low. They were pretty low considering what it usually does, and it was like, okay, well, why is it doing this? So one of the things we figured was like, all right, well, maybe we have some slack in the chain, we need to tighten it up. Maybe we're just dealing with some drag. We didn't know. We thought possibly even maybe the clutch was glazed over. The bike has about 4,300 miles on it, but they're about 4,300 racing miles on it. So that's not a bike that we kind of putz around on. It's a bike that we beat the crap out of it. So needless to say, we knew that there was going to be some things that we needed to fix. And what we ended up finding is the supercharger gear, the lower gear, the bolt had sheared off and was literally floating slash grinding on the outer clutch basket on the back side of it, and was creating a bunch of resistance, and clearly was not doing what it was supposed to do, or what it was meant to do. Nope. So we ended up getting a brand new supercharger gear in from Extreme Creations. We swapped that out.
We haven't dynoed it yet, but we've done a few test runs and it's running considerably normal, I guess you should say. Yeah,
it feels a little bit like how it usually feels, a little bit back to normal. Well, the dyno will tell us. It'll tell us exactly what's going on. It'll tell us what's happening once we get it back on there and once we run it again. It'll definitely show us what it's doing. Mm-hmm. But it feels a lot stronger. So during that night, as we were riding around, and as we're kind of during the actual FL2k night, as we were riding around, it like I was telling, like I was going over it with another client of ours. It was like, yeah, it no matter what, it's a supercharged bike. It's fast. It's all the things. But normally it's almost like a oh shit kind of pull. And during that night, it definitely felt way more timid, way more like it doesn't have the balls that it usually has. So
I will say this though, I noticed last time we had it on the dyno though, when we were watching numbers, when we were doing, the 270, whatever it was, and then like after a few dyno runs, it went down to like 260 and then 250. So that could have been what was happening later on that night too, is as we were running it, it just kept lacking more and more power.
Yeah, and that was the biggie. Like, so that bike, before we actually took it out that night, we didn't dyno it because we were on the ZX14R wheel.
Yeah.
However, it easily was anywhere from about 30 to 40 horsepower down on power that night, and which is pretty considerable. That's extremely low for a bike. And another thing that we were fighting too, the speed sensor.
I was just about to say, not only that, upon the wheel braking, we
lost our speed sensor during it,
which in turn lost the quick shifter.
Yes.
We were trying to make adjustments at like 11 o'clock that night.
Yes. That was a late shop night.
Yeah.
We were scrambling.
I'm talking about the night of FL2.
Well, that's what I mean. That was a late shop night. Like I think we were supposed to leave a little bit sooner than that, and we just wound up trying to make it work. Yeah, we were just trying to make it work. I mean, if you own a shop or you run a shop or whatever, you're involved in a shop, how some of those nights go. Like, those scramble nights, you're just kind of like, dude, just throw it together. Like, let's just go. And we were highly debating on whether or not to even bring the bike out, to even ride the bike. It was one of those things where you're like, should we even take it? And and that it's a big debate. It's always a hindsight 2020. There's always one aspect that you're like, oh well, you shouldn't bring it, you shouldn't have brought it, etc., etc. But then there's the other side that's like, well, if you didn't bring it, and let's say you just bring another bike, it's not on the same level. Never found these issues.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really known. You'd have been like, but what if? Like, what if we would have brought it? We could have ran this, or we could have done this, or whatever. And it's just one of those things that you just don't know until you experience it, until you go through it, and then you look back, and then you go, oh, well, I should have done this, or I should have done that. But either way, that's not what happened. We brought the bike out, and and it just wasn't ready. But
either way, it is what it is. That's the whole aspect. That's the fun of racing. That's the whole complexity of it, and that's the diversity
I will say this though: if you are riding a bike, if you ever have a gut feeling to where something is not right, go with your gut. Because Eric definitely said about 2 or 3 times that night that something didn't feel right, and that was before this happened.
The same night.
Yeah.
The same exact night.
You said something doesn't feel right, and
Yeah.
then an hour later.
I know.
So just go with your gut
was
feeling,
weird.
because it could have been a lot worse. Thankfully it wasn't, but just go with your gut feeling. If you're riding and something just doesn't feel right, suck your pride up and park the bike, I would say.
Yeah, that was a biggie. Honestly, like that was a big sign for me, I guess. It was that night. I was like, I don't feel like I should be going out. I don't feel like I should test. I don't feel like I should do this. I don't feel like it was like a constant thing in the back of my head. I was like, just park the bike.
FL2k weekend, and
Yeah.
we haven't been out in a while at
You
the
know.
shop, so.
You get excited. You get all pumped up for the events. You get all hyped up. You know, you always feel like, you know, this is the moment. This is the event or whatever. But and this is what
Event is the event.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been going through this for years, and the thing that I usually tell all the clients is Cam, you know, you're young. I kind of told this to you too. It's like I'll tell people all the time. It's like, look, there's always another event. There's always another race. There's always something else to get your bike ready for.
We're good at giving advice, just not taking it.
Yeah, you know, but it's true. It's like when you're in that situation and you put yourself in those shoes, if you will, it's different. It really is. You're like, screw it. You know, I need to make it. I need to do this. I need to do that. We need to go. And that's just how it goes. That's literally how it goes with everybody. And we understand that. We get that. But again, it could be costing you. Luckily, this was a monetary cost. And it wasn't anything more than that. But, you know, again.
Bike didn't go down. You didn't go down. You didn't get hurt. So that's good note at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but
definitely sucks. Definitely is a prideful thing. Admittedly, you know, it definitely hits your pride where you're like, yeah, son of a bitch. But
because that is disgusting. Where's it at?
Yeah, that one hurt.
That's all. I put my finger inside the wheel.
Yeah, but needless to say, guys, I mean that's racing, and that's what happens. You know, you definitely gotta listen to your gut, and you know, and you gotta understand that not everything's going to go the way you want it to go. You know, life has different plans. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, we're getting everything fixed. You know, we're putting it all back together. Humpty Dumpty's getting put back together, and she's going to...
moving forward, she's running good now. I think we still have the speed sensor issue, right?
Yep. Still have a weird speed sensor issue, which is definitely strange because we've tried quite a few things right now, and it's like, it's a very simple system, so... but needless to say, we'll get it figured out. We're still working. So and I also wanted to do this real quick. I wanted to give a special shout out to Travis Yeager at Yeagerworks. He helped us out tremendously during this whole process with the intercooler, with troubleshooting on certain things. We had some random issues here and there. There was quite a few things he helped us out with, and
parts on hand.
Yeah, he had parts on hand that he was giving us to make it work, so that we could even get the bike
out there
to go out. He came in clutch. He was an awesome guy. He's a big help, big help, and he was great. You know, so I wanted to say thank you. Honestly, I told him that probably 1,000 times. And anyway, he really helped us out during this whole event, this whole process, and he's been great to work with. You know, he uses our dyno, and he rents the dyno out to finish his projects, his H2s, the SXs, and all the H2 platform that he deals with.
Making power.
Yeah, and he makes big power on his stage 3 kits. Like he's a really smart dude, and he helped us out a lot. So again, thank you, Travis. We really appreciate you and appreciate your generosity and everything that you've shown us. We really do appreciate it, and it goes a long way with us.
See you then.
We got another bike. Oh, this is probably Seth. Great timing, Seth.
Look at you. Come sit on the casting couch.
We got updates coming out with the
Shop 10, Shop ZX10.
Yeah, the Shop ZX10. We did just get the 14R wrapped up for the half mile 14R.
Yeah, Turbo 14.
That one just left last night. Now, we'll have to finish up the videos when he gets back, so we'll do an update on that, which will be interesting because quite a few things changed on that. A lot of stuff changed on that. So, and we have big plans for it too. Super excited, and the owner is all about it. He's like, yep, we're moving forward with everything. So
I think he said after this event, it would be fine to, that's when we're gonna start doing everything else, right? The last stages.
The full shebang. And I was like, I'm about it, let's do it. So anyway, it's really cool. That one's gonna come out soon too. We got some updates on yours, but we didn't really video a lot of that.
No, I've only got photos because I did that at home. Sorry guys. I get impatient.
I know. He just rushes through it.
I didn't rush through it. It definitely took me till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but I definitely got it done.
I don't think a lot of shops will show you this kind of stuff. I mean, this isn't the most glorious thing ever, but again, like, we wanted to be open and honest with you guys and show you guys the real things that we go through and the real challenges that people go through, that shops go through. They just might not show it. They always show you like the badass stuff, the fun stuff. You know, I mean, if we went back there, we could show you the bike right now, and
looks great.
I mean, we could turn it on, start it, go drive it, beat the shit out of it. It drives, it's fast, you know, and it has a brand new BST on it, you know.
But who doesn't like seeing shit be broken?
Yeah, you know. Like, who doesn't like the carnage? So, but anyway, yeah, we wanted to show you some real insight as to what we go through, and that's kind of the crap that we went through. So, but it is what it is. We keep working through it, and you keep pushing forward, and you take the blows. Everybody gets hit. It just depends on how many times you get back up and you keep pushing. So, and that's what we're doing. We keep pushing, and we're going to keep moving forward, and that's what we're doing here on this channel too. So if you guys could, we greatly appreciate if you could like, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see future updates, future builds that we're doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button. The little trademark or the little watermark down in the bottom right hand corner, I don't know which one it's going to be, but the little watermark that you see is actually the subscribe button, right? Actually the subscribe button. So if you do, you can just go ahead and hit that and make it a lot easier, and it's actually kind of cool. We've been getting a lot of questions from you guys, a lot of comments. We love it. Keep it coming. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Tell us about your experiences on your H2s. Tell us your experiences on your bikes. And yeah, let's keep this thing going. Let's create a cool community here. So on that note,
let's stay tuned for the Shop ZX10 coming up next. That one's very fun. That one's an interesting build.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We should hit 200 next.
No, his.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We should hit 200 on pump gas on a stock motor.
Yeah. Most of
I haven't seen that done on my dyno. It's stingy as shit, and I haven't seen it done. It'll be pretty cool. We're throwing a lot of stupid little tricks at it. So anyway, yeah, stay tuned for all that, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. Stay safe. Peace.